What's good, people? Naples is one of those cities that has so much going for it. It's gritty, beautiful, and delicious. Here's a list of things to do while there if you only have a short amount of time. As you see Naples from your plane's window, you know it'll be a special time. The landscape is dramatic. I was there for 2 days as part of a larger trip through Italy. Naples is a dynamic city filled with surprises and lots of southern Italian culture. The first thing that comes to mind when I think of Naples is food, specifically pizza. If you can only do one thing in Naples, I'd suggest taking a food tour. Technically, this can be self-guided by just going into every shop and buying a little bit of everything, but take a guided one instead to really learn why food is so important to Naples and to take in some history. First, you start with a variety of things from cheese to tomatoes to olives, and of course, you'll try some pizza. Naples is the birthplace of pizza, and as a New Yorker, I needed to check this off my bucket list. I tried 3 types of pizza: regular Margherita, folded, which is kind of a gimmick, it's just a regular pizza except it's eaten the way we eat them in New York, folded, and fried, which is basically an empanada. Still insanely delicious. What makes pizza in Naples so special is the ingredients. They use San Marzano tomatoes, the real ones, which are actually grown here. That alone makes a huge difference. The tomatoes are just so sweet, and they also only use fresh mozzarella, as in a few days old, max. Walking through the narrow streets with a slice of pizza and beer was definitely a highlight of my trip and something I'll never forget. I'll leave a link to this as well as another tour and spots in the description. My favorite pizza spot was definitely Gino's Sorbiggio. The hype is real. The pizza really is amazing. Not the best pizza I had in Italy. For that, stick around for my Amalfi Coast video. It was a great pizza though. Still on the topic of food, if you're looking for a formal dinner while in Naples, I'd recommend Aria. They offer a 5 and 6 course tasting menu that's not only delicious, but creative. The restaurant is dimly lit and feels intimate, very different from the world that's outside. While in Naples, hop on a short train ride to Pompeii and take a tour of the ruins. It's a nice day trip from the city and you'll get to see some incredible history. I've read all about the Mount Vesuvius eruption here in Pompeii all throughout school, and it was surreal to finally see it in person. You'll tour the ancient streets of Pompeii and get an in-depth explanation of how people lived before the eruption. You'll see ancient gyms, homes, and squares. And of course, the casts of people. Seeing the casts of people who died here is a reminder of how quickly things can turn for the worse. In ancient times, Naples was almost completely covered by ash and mudslides due to volcanic activity, to the point that people just built on top of what was already there. There's a whole city right underneath Naples. Seemingly every time construction begins at a site, it turns into an archaeological dig as artifacts and ruins are unearthed. This was the case at a train station that was being built across the street from my hotel. In the middle of construction, ruins were found and they now have to be incorporated into the design and construction of the station. Pretty cool. This is such a unique part of the city, and there are a few underground tours and walkthroughs that you can do. I did La Napolis Sotterrata, the underground city, which is underneath a church at a random square, but again, that's Naples for you. We toured a part of the city that was buried after a devastating mudslide, and the interesting part is that they're still uncovering more. This was so cool, and I totally recommend doing this. To end your evening, if you're in the mood for a drink, I'd recommend Misture Cocktail Bar. It's located in a quiet part of the city right along the coast. A perfect spot for a drink and a nice walk to end your evening. Well, that's all. I hope you found this tiny guide helpful. If it was, hit the like and the subscribe button, and I'll catch you next time.